Hey guys, Coach Rittenbar here. Just wanted to make a video for you quick because there's a lot of information. Had some good questions from parents, so just trying to tackle some of those questions that have come up before we get started tomorrow. Nothing like waking up to snow on the ground the day before spring season kicks off, but it looks like the rest of the week will be a lot warmer, so we should be okay. One of the questions was about clothes for practice. Yes, we have the shirts that eventually we will be wearing, but with the online store still going, that is not a priority, especially when it's cold. I'm not worried about what we look like. The big thing is that they are dressed warm enough. Make sure that they have long sleeves on and plenty of layers, so we can always take it off if we need to. But we don't need guys out there in shorts and t-shirts when it's 50 degrees. So make sure that they dress warm. The online store is still active. That will remain open through this week until next Sunday. So the one thing that we do ask that they have is the player pack, so we can be uniform together in practice, or if we go out together, that way we are all dressed the same. Parents buy anything that you want on there. Parents can buy the player pack too if that's something you're looking for. Um, Sportsrama is who does that, and so they do a great job of kicking that apparel out real fast as soon as that store closed. So as soon as we get the stuff, we get it right in the guy's hands, and we'll get it back to you guys. And again, that's open until a week from today. So if you haven't taken care of that, go ahead and get that taken care of. Again, the only thing that we ask that the players have is that player pack. Other than that, anything they want to get or parents want to get is totally optional. And that is open to anybody, grandmas, grandpas, who, if people want it, go for it. And the link for that is in the Sports U app also. If you're a person who uses Facebook, we do have a varsity Facebook page. We'll post information from both varsity and JV there, but that's another spot where we can highlight our kids and share some of the accomplishments of the team. On the screen here, you'll see in a second a weekly calendar that I'm going to kick out. You'll get this every Sunday in the app, so it just gives you a heads up as to week, what to look for, what time practices, what games, or anything else that might be on the calendar. So expect to see something like this every Sunday. It's hopefully to just make sure we're on the same page, make sure we're not forgetting anything, and just help us stay organized as we go through the very busy spring season. One thing that did not come up at the parent meeting was in-season lifting. So we do have mandatory in-season weightlifting, weight training for all of our players. It's for varsity and JV guys. The expectation is that they are there. It's not an optional thing. It is something that all in-season sports have to do. I'm working with Brian Jordan, who is in charge of that. He's a former player also. Super good guy to be in there. Does a nice job with the kids, really knows what he's doing, and definitely has an eye for the strength side when it comes to baseball. So I'm working with him. We'll get a schedule set. In previous years, they have lifted right after school while I'm still teaching at Eastwood. So they would go straight after their normal school day into the weight room as a team, lift, and then they would have our practice at 4 or at 5, depending on which team they're on. But the schedule for that will come out hopefully soon so that we can get that information to you and just know that that is an expectation that they are there. Now, again, doctor's appointments and stuff like that, we want you to schedule them after school before practice. So if that crosses, up with that time, it's not a big deal, but just make sure that we know why your son or why you wouldn't be at weightlifting that day. Spring break practice plan. Like I said at the parent meeting, we do not have any mandatory practice over spring break. If you're in town, and some of the coaches who are in town, I'll be out of town this spring break. Some of the coaches will be in town. And if we have good weather, we'll send out a message on Sports U and just throw it out there for anybody who is able to come. That we'll take both JV and varsity, whoever can come, and we'll get some extra practice in. But nothing is mandatory over spring break. There's no punishment for being gone for spring break or anything like that. We will practice up to Thursday of that before we go on to spring break with no school on Friday. This Saturday, we will be practicing inside from 8 to 9:30 in the morning. We will also hand out uniforms during that time. Seniors, you will already have your uniforms because on March 14th, if you are getting one of the banners to be hung up, that is taking place on March 14th. Again, I've shared information with that in the app for just the varsity parents and varsity players, because that's who it relates to. Underclassmen, this is not something that you need to worry about. Um, by Friday at the latest, possibly earlier, everyone will know if they're playing varsity or JV. Like I said, we will sit down with each player one-on-one and talk to them about what we see, how things look, things that are great, things that we can work on, ways to improve, and just so that they have a heads up as to what to expect to the best of our ability from 1 week, um, from them, from playing time and from position wise, and a lot of things. But we want to give them that information early so that they know where they stand currently. Obviously, that can always go up or down by the hard work, their talent level, all those different things that come into that. But we just want guys to have a general idea of where they stand after that first week. Like I said, uniforms, we'll pass those out on Saturday to everybody. So 8 to 9:30 Saturday morning. Inside, we'll get the uniforms. We'll get hats that day. So if you have the $20, Saturday is the day that we need that money. Again, if that is an issue financially, please let us know. We have plenty of ways to take care of that if needed. So a lot of information. Hopefully I answered most of your questions. Please let me know if you have more. Don't hesitate to ask. If this is new to you, or you haven't had kids in sports in high school, or baseball is new to you, please don't hesitate to ask. We'll try and get as much information as possible to you. Looking forward to getting started. Looking forward to not see that white stuff on the ground anymore. Plan on being outside all week until we get shut down with bad weather. But 4 to 5:30 tomorrow out at the baseball field. Thank you.